Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a cloudy Thursday morning. Yay for Thursday, because, as you all know, Thursday is my Friday, as I don't work on Fridays. But even more so, yay, double yay, because I'm going to go to work today, but then instead of coming home tonight, I'm going straight down to Benji and Judy, and then from there we will go on to Vlogger Fair. Well, we'll go on down to Seattle. So it's going to be a very exciting time, of that I'm sure. And hopefully I will get lots of fun footage for you. I'm busy through my brain trying to work out what equipment have I forgotten, if any. Didn't bring my tripod. I don't need a tripod, I don't think. Anyway, so the good news is that I think I've got the important things. And I'm sitting thinking passport would be good, so. And money. Yeah, I got those. Okay. Those are the two. For some of you going, and makeup, so. Yeah, I got makeup. And the good news is, if there's anything that I can think of today that I've forgotten, at least I have to go past my house to get to the border, so, or just about a block away, so I can always pop in and quickly pick it up. So, things are good. I wanted to tell those of you who haven't already seen it, the story of Vinnie. Vinnie is a fish that I got for I have a 40-gallon fish tank that I really, it's one of those picturesque ones, you know what I mean? It's actually a vertical tank, not a horizontal tank. Most fish tanks are horizontal, and this was a beautiful vertical one. And for many, many years, I kept fish in it. It's surprising for a fish tank, you're saying. Yeah, and particularly my favorite of the time when I was a big fish lover was the parrot fish, if any of you have ever seen one of those. It looks like a cartoon fish, and it definitely looks like it should have bubbles coming out of its mouth with words coming out of it. Manon and I would have loved this fish. So if you ever get a chance to look it up, parrot, like in the bird, parrot fish. And I had probably 2 or 3 of them because I love them so much. They don't last very long, as you know, fish don't last very long, let's be honest. But somewhere along the line, I think even before I got my first parrotfish, I got Vinnie and Guido. Vinnie and Guido were 2 bottom-feeding fish. They're nocturnal, so basically I wasn't going to see too much of them during the day, if anything, and I probably wouldn't see them at night because I'd be sleeping. So they're almost translucent. It looks a bit like a miniature catfish. I'm certain that people out there that are big fish people will be able to tell me what the name of this fish is, but I have no idea, except one was Vinnie and the other was Guido. Now, Guido went the way of all fishes after a few years, and Vinnie didn't. For some reason, Vinnie decided that he was going to stay. Now, you have to understand that I gave up being a fish tank person probably 10 years ago at least, if not more. No, about 10 years ago, I guess. Maybe not so much. Okay, a long time ago. And so everything in my tank died except for Vinnie. So, you know, I couldn't take Vinnie and flush him or anything terrible like that, because, you know, I couldn't do that. So what I said was, well, not to worry, when Vinnie goes, I'll empty the tank and I'll sell it or donate it or do something with it. Thinking, please listen to these words, thinking that Vinnie would be a dead fish within a couple of years at most. Well, there was a time when I had a house guest, and she You all know Yvonne, my friend and tenant of many years. She went down to Yvonne and she said, Yvonne, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think Sal's losing it, which you all knew anyway. She said, I think Sal's losing it because she's feeding an imaginary fish. She talks to it as she puts the food in, and she doesn't know there isn't a fish in the tank. And Yvonne said, no, that would be Vinnie. And she said, yes, but there is no Vinnie. And Yvonne said, well, that's what you think, and that's what I thought as well, but every now and then Vinnie comes out to prove us wrong. So he's not necessarily dead, he just looks like he doesn't live there anymore. So she rolled her eyes. Now she's got Sal and Yvonne supporting an imaginary fish. So we're both cuckoo and in need of serious treatment. However, they didn't tell me that this conversation was going on behind my back until some time later. And then I think in all kindness, I got told, do you know that you're feeding an imaginary fish? And I said, hell no, that's not an imaginary fish, that's Vinnie. And she goes, there is no Vinnie. I said, yes there is. And she said, no. She said, I have, opened up the top of the tank and I have swooshed around and there is no Vinnie. I said, he's hiding under the rocks, he does that. She said, seriously, there is no Vinnie. Well, if it wasn't 2 days later, I walked past the tank and then I called my house guest at the time and I go, you better come and have a look because Vinnie's out. And before you think I've totally lost my marbles, let me make sure that you see Vinnie. And she did. And she said, well, I can't believe that because I swooshed the water around and he didn't come out and he didn't. I said, no, it's Vinnie. He's very funny like that. Anyway, so that was fine. And then about 2 years ago, Vinnie went missing for a long time. What happens is you don't see him for quite a while and then one day he'll come out and, sun himself, or I have no idea why he comes out, but he does. He's almost translucent. He's in the dark so much. But, I mean, he was gone for about a month, enough that I stopped feeding him. And then, one day, I leant down to pick something up and I'm eyeball to eyeball with Vinnie. And I'm going, oh my gosh, he lives. And so I rushed to go and get food in the tank. Anyway, so this was quite a while ago. Now, about 8 months ago, Vinnie goes missing again. I haven't seen him for a long time, like a couple of months, and I'm going, Vinnie's been in that tank for 15 years. I got a feeling that Vinnie is no more, but never mind, I kept everything going for another month, just waiting to see. I kept putting food in the usual schedule, but no Vinnie. So after I hadn't seen Vinnie for now the 3rd month, I decided, okay, fine, it's time to turn off the tank, let it evaporate, and then I will clean it out and give it away. So last night I started the packing, ready for vlogger fair, and I leaned down to pick up something off the floor near the fish tank, and I'm eyeball to eyeball with Vinnie. Now you have to understand that for the last 4 months I have not fed that tank. I have cut off the oxygen, the extra oxygen to it. I have basically just left it alone to evaporate so that I could sell the tank. And there was Vinnie. And he wasn't dead, he was moving. His eyeballs were moving. And I just about freaked. Now I'm rushing You can probably imagine. I mean, it's funny, but at the time it was just horrifying. And I'm throwing food into the tank, not too much, but some food into the tank. And I'm rushing to get water into the tank because it's only got about 2 feet of water in, and when it should have about 5. No, I'd say it had about, yeah, anyway, it was way down on water. I mean, it only had about this much water in it. And no, to be fair, it probably has about 3 foot of water when it's full, maybe a bit more, maybe 4. Anyway, so I'm busy trying to hook up the filter, trying to get water in it so I could hook up the filter. Now I got everything going, and now I'm busy trying to tell, I've got a new house guest at the moment. So it's like trying to explain to the house guest about Vinnie. And you can imagine, the rolling of the eyes. You're saying that this fish is, 16 years old. Yeah, right. And you're saying that it's alive, and you haven't fed it for. Yeah, right. So you see, another person who doesn't believe a word about Vinnie. So I took a picture this morning. He came out again this morning, so I quickly grabbed my camera and took a picture, so I can prove that he's there. Lordy. Only me. And the interesting thing is all the kind people who wrote to me. I quickly put a note up on Facebook so that you guys could know what was happening to me. And this is in the middle of trying to pack. I needed distractions like a hole in the head last night. So, Vinnie lives. What can I say? And may he live and swim around in the dark for many, many years. Only me, right? I listened this morning, and I really have to make a comment on this. I listened to ex-President Jimmy Carter this morning talking about his diagnosis of cancer. And I don't know about the rest of you, but boy, what a class act that guy has been, and presumably always will be. I was listening to him talk about his 60-year marriage to Rosalind, and you look at all that he has done in his life, and you're going at 90. I don't know about you, but I think if I got that diagnosis at 90, I'd be saying, okay, keep me out of pain as far as you can, but I've lived a good life, and I've achieved what I want to achieve. No, not Jimmy Carter. He's going to go through full radiation and all that needs to happen. And you go, wow. I would have, I'm just amazed, because I'm going, I'd be happy just to reach 90. Healthily, which he appears to have done. And yet he was busy talking about, well, if he can get it scheduled in properly between the treatments, listen to this, then he's still going to do his trip to Nepal and a few other things, if he can time it right between the treatments. Wow. That is quite something, isn't it? So, there is no doubt in my mind when you listen to him that he has extraordinary faith. And I can't help but feeling that that is part of his mentality. He just seems so calm and so normal about it all. And like, hello, I got a cold. No, they managed to remove a tumor from his liver, but they found 4 spots in his brain. For a man who is that incredibly clever, and in my mind Jimmy Carter is, humbly so, but clever, to have his brain affected, to my mind, must be very difficult. So I wish him well, as I'm sure anybody wishes anybody well, regardless of your politics. This is not about politics. This is about an incredible man who's done, I believe, incredible work in his lifetime. Habitat for Humanity and all the other things that he's done. And I wish him nothing but the best. Miracles happen. Vinnie lives. This is DearMamaSal saying bye-bye for now.